Say, is it possible for a non-professional athlete to make $10,000 in prize money in one calendar year? Well, I'm here to answer that question, and in this video, I traveled down to Bryce Canyon National Park in southern Utah to race a half marathon to attempt to make several $100s to help increase my progress towards that $10,000 mark. If you haven't already tuned in before, I've already raced 4 races previously, helping contribute to my progress here. I will link those videos down in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to be notified every single time I run a race, where I will be updating how much money I made progressing towards that $10,000. So without further ado, let's get into Bryce's Canyon. Let's get into it. Just got off work. It is now 4 p.m. the day before the race. I am very far away from Bryce Canyon. Got a lot of driving ahead of me tonight. With that said, this is a bit of a last minute race. I have wanted to go visit Bryce Canyon and check it out, and it just so happens to be on a weekend that I can make it work, and they just so happen to have a pretty good prize money pool. Have wanted to go visit Bryce. See that? It's pretty neat. You can tell that it's a canyon by the way that it is.
It's actually not a canyon, technically.
You can tell that it's a series of divots by the way that it is. Alright, I got a lot of driving ahead of me. So after getting home from work and picking up my daughter, it was another 3 hours to drive down to Bryce Canyon. Of course, this isn't ideal race prep just 12 hours before the race, but given the size of the race and my fitness, I wasn't too worried about it. And it's kind of a nice drive driving to southern Utah. If you don't know, southern Utah actually has 5 national parks, and it's pretty cool. I can get to all of them pretty quickly. And soon enough, the drive was over and I arrived. Welcome to the Lazy Ranch. Relax, I said Apple. But this is the Airbnb that I'm staying at. It's about a half hour away from the start line in a little town called Panguitch. All right, guys, we are here about a half hour away from where the start line is. I pulled in at about 9 p.m. The race starts at 6 a.m. So, yeah, I saw this race on the calendar a few months back. I wanted to do it, but I didn't officially sign up until Monday this week, when I learned that I was able to pull it off. So I'm super excited for this race. They say you get to run down right through Bryce Canyon. You get to see the sun. You get to see the sunrise as you go down the race. So it should be a super scenic one, super fun. In terms of prize money, we are looking at $500 for first place, $400 for second, $300 for third, $200 for fourth, and $100 for fifth. Looking at past results, it does seem like it's pretty likely I can pull away with the win or second place. If it's anything like 3 years ago, it was actually quite competitive, and top 3 was very hard to crack. And as per usual, you just never know who's gonna show up. But I think the plan is to just race for the win. I don't think I have a specific time goal for this one. It will be a great downhill stimulus, preparing my legs for my next race, which is going to be in Salt Lake City, the Deseret News 10K, which is a bombing downhill course where it is very competitive, and that will be the most difficult race I will have had to date on caching. So I'm gonna elevate my legs, try to get as much sleep as I can, and catch you tomorrow. Just got the bib. Just gonna warm up. Get started here. It's early, but dark, but I feel pretty good. We're going Alpha Flies today. It's kind of my go-to downhill race shoe. After my warm-up and switching into my race shoes, I headed over to the start line about 5 minutes before the start of the race. You see those big long lines for the porta potty? You might want to remember that. That might be important. Anyway, the warm-up and the strides actually felt pretty good, and I was excited to get this race started. About 5 minutes from race time. Haven't seen anybody I know. No idea what the competition is, but should be fun. Standing around at the start line, I didn't recognize anybody, and soon enough, about 5 minutes after the projected start time, we headed off. The race started out pretty chill, and I was just looking around trying to feel out who I was going to be running with in this race. But honestly, there were a ton of people in that pack. Either way, it was the beginning of the race, and I was really enjoying the view and found myself right in the front of the pack until this happened. Yeah, you remember those porta potty lines from the beginning? I told you they would be important. Look, when you gotta go, you gotta go. And I wasn't able to make it happen at the start of the race, so I decided to take my chances at catching back up and just go at the first porta potty I could see. All right, 2 miles in, didn't get it in. So, stopped at the first porta potty. Now I've got about 6 people in front of me. I'll catch them soon. Go! I'm good. My bathroom stop took almost exactly 30 seconds, so that's how much ground I had to make up. And after 2 miles, I was at a whopping 5:45 average pace per mile, which is roughly 3:35 per kilometer. Once we hit the downhill, I cooked to catch up as quickly as I could and caught up before mile 4. From there, I ran with a couple guys until about mile 6, when I started to gently pull away. My strategy here was to put my foot on the gas until I had a big enough lead. The promised sunrise is beautiful. The rest of the race consisted of watching the sunrise while I descended down into the town of Cannonville. Almost 9 miles in. I think I've got a sizable lead now. Just enjoying the race. Running like 5:05s. Feels good. As with any race, I was pretty happy to make that final turn. That was it, about an hour and 7. Walked away with the win, and here comes second place right here. Congratulations to all here that made the podium. I had a great time cooling down and chatting with them and making some new friends.
And at number 1, Michael Otzen. Michael is from Provo, Utah. He came in with a cheat time of 1 hour, 7 minutes, 41.7 seconds. Award him $500 for overall cash prize.
Now, this wasn't a PR or anything, but I did accomplish the goal I came out to do. And this event was super fun. Well, there you have it. Another W on the challenge. That's number 2 of 5 races. It feels good. What can I say? Follow your dreams. Can I just say, this trophy is sick, okay? This is like solid rock. It looks like they maybe like laser cut this rock into the shape of a hoodoo, which is like one of those, the shapes of the rock that you see in Bryce Canyon National Park. And it's beautiful. It looks just like the area. I mean, not to comment on, you know, previous trophies I may or may not have shown in my video series. Solid rocks, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah. So, you know what time it is. I made $500 from getting the dub here. That's right, they paid me in cold, hard cash. I've never had a race do that before, actually. But actually, this is only $480. I spent 20 bucks at the finish line on this hat. Run, Bryce. Run, Bryce. I just wish that I knew a Bryce in my life so I could wear this hat around them. If any of you know any Bryces that I can meet, gosh, I love the thermometer. Here we are, we're at $2,300 plus the $500 I got from the Bryce Canyon Half Marathon is $2,800. There we have it, $2,800, officially more than 1/4 of the way done with this challenge in under 3 months. We are well on pace, everybody. We are on pace. Now, of course, I have to address the elephant in the room. But Michael, do you really have that many races with good prize money lined up until next May 5th when the challenge is over? And the answer is not yet. The summer is prime time to run races, so it's good that I'm getting a little bit of a head start here. As I said before, I'm gonna have to really buckle down, get fit and have some really solid races coming in the future if I'm going to hit that $10,000. Next up, I have the Deseret News 10K. It's the most competitive 10K you can find in the state of Utah. With Utah, it's going to be tight and it will be the most difficult race yet to cash. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one.